back to part 2 of the myth-busting locksmith and how to adapt, adjust and overcome. Now, what we were looking at in part 1 was this tool that arrived in the post, and because of a poor design and poor welding, and we'll put a screenshot below, this handle had come off. Now, had this handle not come off, I would have said with the welding and the design, it is entirely poorly designed and ineffective, when bearing in mind this is going to go through a door, either a glass or metal or fire exit door, and be able to pull in, or sort of pull at an angle and twist, or even holding the handle, try and twist this inside to lift or manipulate something to get you through the door. So quite honestly, this little handle and a tiny little welding is a poor design. So what we're going to do today, and I've marked them with tape, is we're going to try and make a handle out of either this bolt or this bolt. These both fit nicely in my hand, so these will be good for gripping and turning, because what you are looking at is something that can twist and turn in the door and can either pull this way or in fact push up or push down with this part, which is much stronger. So the first bolt we've selected, and I'm marking them with tape to know where to drill, is slightly wider but enough to be able to drill a hole in and have some metal either side. So that's the first one. The second one, big, thick, chunky, but shorter, should also work with lots of grip to hold on to, and it's a lot thicker. So what we're going to do is going to drill a hole in both and then see which one is a better design. And then what we'll do is we will get the bolt, we will put it on top like this, and we will bang it down until it is inside, and then we will bend this part on the top and try and secure it as a handle. Hence our big hammer and our drill, but I'm not going to drill on camera because it'll be too noisy. What I will do is I will drill the holes and then we will start the video again. Now, for new locksmiths and ones that don't do a lot of metal work, what you're going to need is you put your bolt in your vise, and you're going to need an indenting tool, which is basically a metal spike, and you're going to want to put it exactly, see if we actually secure this for you. So you're going to want to put this in nice and tight, and you're going to want to put this exactly where you want to drill, and then smack it with a big hammer to make an indent here. Then you want to get a drill bit that's slightly smaller than what you need to make a small start hole, and then a slightly bigger one to then make a bigger hole, to be able to create a hole that will be slightly smaller than this. So this we might need to shave down at the end and taper a bit, so we need to bang it on to make sure it's nice and tight before hammering. So that is our plan. So without further ado, I'm going to start drilling holes, and then we will return when the holes are drilled. So stand by, back soon. Welcome back to the other part of part 2. Now we have finished our work and completed our mission, we will go through it. Now, first of all, a couple of health and safety tips. Always wear gloves if you are working with metal, sawing, cutting, drilling, filing, whatever. Must wear gloves. As you can see here before you, and I've left it here deliberately, you can see all the little swarf, shards, shavings, whatever you want to call it, of metal. These are razor sharp. These get in your fingers, that'll cause nasty metal splinters. Get it in your eyes, it's game over. So that's my first thing. Wear goggles if you're drilling, wear gloves all the time. Nice and rubber, textured backs, very comfortable. Now, drilling our tool that we were trying to make the handle, I had to make a 6mm hole, which was that big. But of course you can't just put a 6mm hole in something, you have to start smaller. So what I did was I started with a 3mm hole, made a 3mm, then went to a 4mm, then a 4.5, then a 5mm, then a 5.5, then a 6mm. It was the best and easiest way to do it. I failed to drill a hole in the bolt. They are absolutely rock solid, and although I did use the indenting tool, which I said in the first video, to smack an indent in, I failed to make sufficient hole. But in the really useful shiny things box, I save and salvage nuts, bolts, washers of particular types that are not your standard. I save bits of metalwork, bits of pipe. I cut the legs off the chair here. So I had, if we have a little looky, I saved the legs. So we have 4 little tubes like this. This with the end of the leg. This could be useful. We've got curly things, bendy things, we've got springs, we've got wires. We've got a whole load of stuff underneath for to discuss another day. But the really useful shiny things box, I salvage and save everything. Bits of metal, bits of spring, bits of nut and bolt, anything that seems random or being thrown away. I save it, you never know when it could be useful. So, having failed to drill a hole in 2 bolts, I realised that a long time ago I had an aluminium walking stick, which is a self-defence cane, so it's made out of extra hard, toughened aluminium. And I thought, hold on a minute, it's got a black hole. I've scratched it slightly on a curb that we'll come to. It's black, it's enamel, it's this thick. And this would be quite useful to see if I could drill a hole in. So I put it in the vise, started small, built up big, took me ages, made a hell of a lot of noise. The neighbours were delighted. They couldn't wait to come up and tell me. They could hear me drilling. They wanted to come and see what I was doing. Clearly they love metal work. And I managed to drill a 6mm hole all the way through this. Now, I initially put this through to the end of this metal pipe, if you want to call it pipe, but it is actually solid metal. And I tried sort of sticking it with steel putty, which I've used in the past. But the trouble is, when I was twisting this like this, the putty was coming unstuck and it wouldn't hold. So what I then did was I drilled it all the way through, and as I had previously planned, I stuck the metal out to the other side, put it in the vise and managed to bend it this way. But of course I wanted it all the way round. So I spoke to my neighbour downstairs. Big shout out to Gerald. Gerald, you are a legend. He's a professional metal worker. He showed me the angle that I needed to do, and although this is slightly scratched on this side, it's of no consequence. We put it on the curb and we've managed to hammer this, if you can see. We've hammered this all the way round. So it's come out the other end. We've lost ½ an inch of length on the handle, and he has managed, as you can see there, to bend it almost perfectly all the way around. So although there's a slight movement of a little tiny bit, the hook part will stop you twisting it that way or this way. It will hold it solid. The bend will stop you pulling it off. So this can slide it straight. You can slide it in your door, twist, pull. You can twist it upwards, you can twist it downwards. When it goes to there, it's solid. It's absolutely solid because it's against the metal. So, I mean, that is absolutely perfect. So you've got your in through the door, you can pull up, push down, you can pull this way if it's a fire door, you've got all sorts of angle. You've lost ½ an inch, as we say, so you've still got plenty of room for manoeuvre. So this is how it should have been made in the first place. Now I just put it away, but again, saving for another day. This piece of metal, nicely finished, painted black all the way through, could be cut down to fill a hole. It could be used as a peg for something. There's a whole world of ways this could be used. So this goes in the really useful shiny things box. But looking at the handle, if we stand this way, so you've got a wall behind you. This is how long this is compared to that one. So it's a little shorter, but it's perfect for grip. And that's how much grip you have, or in that hand, you have plenty of grip. This is how thick it is. So this is comparing the two. So as you can see, it's thicker, it's stronger, it's slightly shorter, which makes little difference, but it's only very slightly shorter. If we can balance it like that, you see, only very slightly shorter. And instead of this being stuck on the end, which as soon as you use any sort of force, it is gonna break off. Of course, as it should have been in the first place, it goes all the way through. But it was a hard job. I had to go through how many drill bits? 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6. I had to go through 7 drill bits of different sizes to be able to make the hole correct. And then I had to hammer the hell out of that to get it all the way around. Now, there's your finished product. There's your tool, and that will go in my box. But as you can see, that is the way it should have been designed in the first place. So you get a broken tool, that is how you adapt, adjust and overcome. Make a new tool, make it perfect, make it usable, don't waste it. And if the designers of this tool are looking, that's how you should have made it in the first place, because it might take a bit more time, might take a bit more money, but at the end of the day, it's going to do a perfect job. It's not going to break when you stick it in a plastic envelope and post it. Anyway, the other little tip for today is in your woodwork and your metal workbox, always carry a pastry brush. or a dustpan brush, or both. Never blow, because the first thing we were taught on our woodwork course was you blow into a hole to get the dust out. That goes in your face, you won't do it again. You blow metalwork in your face, you'll never see again. So when you're cleaning your tools, get your tool, brush it down with your brush. Might look a bit daft, don't care. Brush down your vise and whatnot, get all the metal off. We did clear all this off the bottom, a little bit of steel putty, but this is the thing to use to get all your pieces of metal off, whatever you want to call it, shards, swarf, filings, whatever. But use your brush, make sure it's on a clean surface, and all of this stuff, make sure you brush it up with a dustpan or with a pastry brush, because as you can see, it's not pinging it everywhere, it's just making it into a neat pile that you can clear away. Don't blow it. You can hoover it, but dustpan and brush, never blow. That's it. I hope you found it helpful. I hope you've seen how we can rescue a tool from otherwise going in the bin. Hopefully you can see a little bit of drilling and how to sort of use metalwork and how to adapt to things. Everything can be salvaged, and if you can't salvage it, save the parts, get yourself a really useful shiny things box, put your really useful shiny things in it, save it, because you never know when it could become useful and it could be absolutely perfect for what you need. I hope you found that interesting. Please leave comments and questions below. Any stupid or negative comments or sarcastic mickey taking will be removed. We don't tolerate keyboard warriors here. Everyone has less experience, everyone else has more experience. We all know something that others don't. We all can learn from each other, but sitting at home going ho, 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 and stupid comments will not be tolerated. We delete them, so don't waste your time. I'm not interested. Viewers won't be interested. Don't bother. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. And that's it for me. And happy Valentine's Day to all girls, because apparently 27 years of being tolerated is remarkable. So thank you, Debbles. I love my card. That's it. Thanks for watching. See you at the next one.